Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to this Thursday afternoon, June 16th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWM, and Triple Qs. A lot to talk about. Let's first start off. Don't forget, SPY goes ex-dividend. So wherever we close, settle tonight, whatever the dividend is, it's going to be showing that as your settlement for tomorrow morning. That's number one. Number two, we have expiration tomorrow, quadruple expiration. Number three, we all end up pretty much like B shapes for long liquidation, although Russell does go out with a trend day. They had single prints in B that held. Now, again, I've been beating this to death the last 4 or 5 days, but since we had those set of single prints on that Thursday a week ago when we really flushed in KL and M, we've had 3 gaps. We've done nothing but make new lows on the year, yet we have not held one trend day down, and even more, I don't know if you want to say significant, strange, we've had pocs of 9 wide or more almost every day. And, it's pretty interesting. I mean, the buyers, sellers were totally in control again today. We had a beautiful afternoon rally high in H. We pushed down hard in J and K, yet we can't hold single prints. And so the question I keep posing to myself, to the room, to everybody who listens to these videos, we know there's long-term plays absolutely liquidating in individual stocks, right? You look at the Walmarts, Targets, there's so many. But in these indices themselves, like again, the volume's 120 million, and 20 of it was done in M period. And one of them was a 5 million share print. I wonder if they bought that for the dividend. But I'm wondering if the long-term sticky money is staying in these ETFs, because for the most part, what we're seeing is short-term traders that are pushing the ETFs down. There's some food for thought. I had a good day today. Knocked them around all over the place. I took one long that occurred in G period when it looked like we were going to finally stop the one-time framing, and it paid. We go out with another gap. All 3 of us held gaps. I took a short in A. Again, just kind of like yesterday. I'm not going to go all, I shorted A, B, C, D. First 4 time frames, I did nothing but short any push up. That ebb and flow trade worked for 2 hours. And I did it a bunch of times. I did it between the 368 and 370 puts. Then when the market couldn't go trend and it seemed like it was slowing, excuse me 1 second, excuse me, and we couldn't really push. Remember, we made the low of the day in C. We didn't take that out till J. So in G period, after F failed, I'm like, they're struggling here. I have a feeling they're going to try to pop at least F's high. I didn't wait for F's high, but on any pullback in G, the way I was shorting A through D, well, I kind of did that on the long side, and I probably recycled 50 calls, and we finally took out G's high. It was a nice trade. Now, H period ripped up, and I was fumbling what puts I wanted to take. Never got it. I was so upset because it came in really hard, but I did catch it in I when I got to its high. And I don't know how many of you were watching it at the time, but it just dumped literally seconds after I bought it for a beautiful 371 put play. I scalped shorts in K period, 365 puts 3 times. And then in L, I did it twice, actually lost on one of them, not before, when it took out K's high. It was before that, where it ran up, I took it off for a loss, and then I did another small one, because I hate going home with the last trade of the day being a loser. So it was a good day. All right, let's go to destinations. So for the upside, we have the POC, 367.45, 9 wide. Then we have the afternoon rally high. That's H's high of 368.95. Then we have today's high of 370.94, and then fill in the gap at 372.12. So that one's only $1.18 compared to the other gaps. That's small, but we do have 3 gaps. And then remember, yesterday's POC of 377.49 of 10 wide is now an upside destination. For the downside, we have 364.08. So today is June 16, 2022. After today's low, our next destination is 362.03. That is the monthly low of December 2020. So we have a year and a half in between downside destinations now. Here's another thing that somebody told me in my room. Since 2003, and again, I didn't verify this, but I wouldn't doubt it's true. Since 2003, the ES weekly bar has closed below the previous lows, the previous year's low only 2 times. Okay, that's 2009 and in 2020. Well, last year's low is 364.82. So if we close below that tomorrow night in SPY, and I'm not sure what ES's number would be, that would be only the 3rd time in 19 years that a weekly low, that a weekly close below the previous year's low. Now remember, SPY's going ex-dividend, so there's a chance SPY might do it, but it would be dividend related. So I would only take it into real account if ES did it tomorrow. So below 362.03, and again, please write these down, although I thought I gave them to you yesterday, but 361.22.9 wide from November 30th. These are all 2020. 360.66 afternoon pullback from November 30th. 359.17 weekly low, filling the gap at 358.82, a 35-point gap from November 24th of 2020. And then on the chart, now remember, I will be recapping all 3 of these indices charts tomorrow, but let's go through SPY. So SPY obviously is down in the monthly, right? We've blown through. The next target on SPY now, we got 364.82 is 362.03. That's December of 2020. If we don't find any buyers there, look at our next real destination. It's probably February of 2020's high, which is 339.08. That's the all-time high prior to COVID. So that would be your next big destination that it holds. If not, you'd go then to 327.24. That is November of 20's low. So do you see how important this December low is to hold and not get acceptance below in SPY? Monthly is obviously still getting crushed. Same with the weekly. Down, we still have the gap, which is my main focus. Now look at the weekly. I showed you a monthly chart. The weekly has, I'm looking for the next week. There is no weekly. The next thing is 362.03. That's December of 2020 low. If you get below that, look at your next real low on the weekly. 350.51. And then 327.24. So even though we're not getting the push and we're not getting the trend days, if real time, if it's not long-term money that's buying where the POC is, and they might be absorbing there, I don't know, but if you ever get consistent selling with volume of 250 million shares, we'll go to those levels. And then here's your daily. Look at this. If anybody ever questions how important balance is, please just pull up this chart. Remember, we had an 8-day balance, and I said when we come out of it, you're going to come out of it with energy. The bottom of that balance, rounded out, is 407. We hit today 364. $43 in 5 trading days with 3 gaps. So don't let anybody tell you balance isn't important. Thanks for the likes and subscribing. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.